Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. The holiday season is always about giving, and our focus this morning will begin with an organization that has cared about the total needs of men and women since the 1800s. The Salvation Army was established in the U.S. in 1880 and the Milwaukee mission in 1889. Here to tell us more about that mission, along with the outstanding programs and services that are offered to individuals right here in our community, is Major Tim Meyer for the Salvation Army of Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good, Andrea.
So glad to have you here with us this morning. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing us to be here.
Yes, if you would like to tell us more about the Salvation Army and what it is you do to actually examine and address the needs within our community.
Well, as you know, the needs continue within the Milwaukee community, and the Salvation Army has several locations within the city. Of course, we kind of gauge the need by those, but also through our assistance programs, the sheer number, the volume of people who apply for assistance and the type of things that they need help us to meet those needs.
Makes a lot of sense. And not only do you lift people up and help get them on their feet, you actually help them grow in many dimensions of life. Let's talk about a few of the programs and services that you offer to people that do just that. You have an emergency assistance program, and that helps out clients with basic needs in an emergency such as a fire or death, loss of employment. A lot of different things can happen in everyday life, and the Salvation Army is there to help when people need you.
Correct. Yeah, and one of the most basic needs that folks have is food, you know, year round. And we are here year round. The donations of food or financial donations stay in the Milwaukee community and enable us to help people throughout the year, not just at Christmas time. I know this is the most visible time for us, but that assistance goes on quietly all year long.
And that is so important. And one thing to keep in mind, 1 in 4 Milwaukee children are actually living in poverty in our community. And needless to say, we live in a climate that is colder than most for a long period of time. And so making sure kids have a warm coat is something that you do each and every year through your Coats for Kids program. And you guys already did a distribution of coats in November. However, if there's somebody out there that still needs a coat, they can call the Salvation Army and set up an appointment.
That's right. They just need to call our emergency assistance number, which will probably be on the screen. I know you've got it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to make sure that people have their needs met year round, and we partner with many, many different people to receive these coats. They're dry cleaned free of charge for us, and then we give them out to thousands of people in the Milwaukee area.
Yes, and I think that's an important thing to bring up because there's so many different entities that come together to make it possible. First, you have people who donate the coats, then you have the volunteers who are sorting and distributing, but then you also have donated services to dry clean these coats so that people have a clean coat, they can put it on right that moment if they need to.
Exactly, yeah. Many, many volunteers in lots of areas. Some are more visible than others.
Yeah. Speaking of volunteers, of course, you've got the bell ringers, and throughout the holiday season, they are standing in every temperature, doesn't matter. Rain, snow, sleet, they're out there ringing the bell, and they are taking those donations that's helping raise money to fund some of these programs and services that we've talked about.
That's right. We do have a lot of volunteers. We receive a lot of in-kind donations. We could not begin to do what we do without those two aspects. However, we do have costs as well, and we do some direct services to people as well. So those dollars are very much needed, and again, everything that's donated here stays in the community.
And during this holiday season, you guys have been extremely busy, needless to say. So not only do they have the bell ringers out there, we just had Staff Sergeant Jerome Vereen from the U.S. Marines Toys for Tots program on the show, and he talked about how the Salvation Army served as one of the main drop-off centers for Toys for Tots. So you guys just had a big group of volunteers, give out thousands of toys to kids, and at this very moment there are some kids with smiles on their faces because of the Salvation Army and all the wonderful people in our community who donated and volunteered.
Yeah, I wish I could be a little mouse and be in the house when those kids open those toys. They may, but they probably don't know where Mom and Dad got the toys from. All they know is that there's something new and something they enjoy on Christmas morning, and that's part of the joy that everyone gets to be part of when they help the Salvation Army, whether it be the Marines. I know Capco does a toy drive. There are many people in the community who help out that way.
Another great example of how everybody coming together can truly make a difference. And you guys help out like about 10,000 kids a year in giving them toys and just making them happy, because at the end of the day, you know, once we get past the true reason behind the season, kids see Christmas as their time to get those new toys.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
and
but the need does go on after Christmas. So we do have emergency food programs for folks, and those donations are still needed after Christmas as folks are putting away their Christmas decorations and saying goodbye to relatives. There are still people who are needed, and that assistance continues in the Milwaukee area.
That is so very true, and that's why it's important to have you here, not just to talk about the great things that you do during the holiday season, but you realize there is a need on so many different levels all year long, and your programs and services are there all year long, not just during the holidays. But you do have something very special that is specifically set up for Christmas Day, and this is a huge event, and we talk about people coming together and making it possible, and this is an example of that. You've got people from all walks of life who are coming together and celebrating what I like to call the reason for the season with the 27th annual Family Feast at the Wisconsin Center District. So fill us in on everything that's going to take place there.
Well, this is, you know, last year I believe there were about 8,000 people who came to this. The Salvation Army has Christmas dinner served throughout the United States at different facilities, but this is the largest one in the United States that the Salvation Army does.
Okay.
And it is an amazing sight to see. With that many people, there are many, many volunteers that are needed. And I believe we have some 1,200 volunteers in probably 8 different categories that help to carry this off. It is indeed a feast, and the meal is a full meal. There's ham, turkey, dressing, there's sweet potatoes, green beans, there are all kinds of desserts and beverages that are served. There's entertainment, and the entertainment is excellent that goes on during the meal. Santa makes an appearance, and Mrs. Claus comes along too. So there's something for the entire family there that day, whether it's someone who just really has a profound need, whether it's someone who's lonely and just needs a place to go on Christmas Day. They may not have family, they may have family out of the area. For whatever need, they come and they're warmly greeted and have a wonderful meal. And often as they leave, there are gifts as long as supplies last.
Wow.
So it's a great event.
Yes, and this is something that takes some time to put together. So when you see it all come together and see all the people come together and really just fellowship and have food together, break bread together, that's what it's really all about. We'll put the details up on the screen. This is going to be happening from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Christmas Day. It's been a tradition, like I said, for 27 years, free and open to the public. And you're going to be feeding about 8,000 to 10,000 people?
Yes, yeah, we're prepared. They start cooking 3 days ahead of time for this.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's amazing, and so it's not just you know, a corner bake sale. It is a well designed program, and there'll be a lot of folks there.
I love it. And you did say that you have a large number of volunteers who help make it possible, but people will receive complimentary gifts while those supplies last. So the big question is, if somebody's watching right now and they say, I think I might want to head down there, do they have to follow any specific steps, or do they just kind of...
You just show up. As long as the doors are open, we're serving. and happy to do so. There might be a little bit of wait at the very beginning just to get in the doors, but yeah, anybody's welcome.
All right, and the Wisconsin Center, of course, located at 400 West Wisconsin Avenue, and people can call 414-302-4300 for more details or visit your website at samilwaukee.org.
Correct.
All right, sounds good. And one other thing that I did want to bring up, us living in this climate, it's really hard on individuals and their families if they don't have anywhere to go. So the Salvation Army plays a huge role in also offering facilities for individuals who may be considered homeless. So you've got Emergency Lodge and what you call a Roots Permanent Housing. Tell us more about that.
Well, we have the ability to take a certain number of families in our Emergency Lodge. We then help to transition them from that through all kinds of things with job counseling, help to write a resume, even how to dress for success to get a job. We don't know the reason, there are various reasons why people end up in that situation, but others in the community come together to help us. We have transitional housing, and then we have transition them into permanent housing whenever that is possible, and we do have a good success rate with that. You
even have social services, pastoral care, so really, and that's what the Salvation Army is really built upon. So if someone wants to take advantage of that, you offer that as well.
Yeah, and part of our mission, as you probably know, is to meet human needs in Jesus' name without discrimination. And we have done that for more than a century, and we will continue in that vein as long as the Lord allows us to do it.
Yes, and He is the reason for the season. So you guys work hard all year long, making a difference in the lives of people, whether it is feeding the kids during the summer program, the feeding program, or if you're getting ready to send them back to school with the supplies they need during the holidays, whatever the case, the Salvation Army has always been there. And it's important for everybody at home watching to know that if you're really looking for an organization to support and to give to and donate, this is one to keep in mind, because you've been doing this, like I said, since the 1800s, and I'm sure you're not going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, and you know, we believe that the Lord, through people, will provide the resources we need to do what we're supposed to do. If we stop doing what we're supposed to do, then those resources will probably dry up. But I know there are people that are able to help us, come alongside us in mission. If they can't volunteer, if they can't actually donate food or a toy or something, perhaps they can help financially. And again, that helps us to keep doing what we were raised up to do. And we even, this last year, we started a chaplaincy program to assist with some of the things that have been happening in Milwaukee. And I know the police department has appreciated that, the citizens have appreciated that, and those with a desire to give spiritually and to meet those community needs have appreciated being part of that as well.
All good stuff. Thank you so much for coming by, especially during this extremely busy time of year, to tell all of our viewers about the great things that you're doing to make a difference right here in our community. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Andrea.
Always a
I wanted
pleasure.
to say Andrea Darling. I probably can't do that.
And so. Merry Christmas
Merry
to
Christmas
you.
to
Thank you so much. Major Tim Meyer, he represents the Salvation Army of Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. And don't forget, the entire community is invited to the 27th Annual Christmas Family Feast on Christmas Day from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Wisconsin Center. It is free and open to the public. Log on to samilwaukee.org or call 414-302-4300 for more information on anything that we've discussed today. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll go from the celebration of Christmas to counting down to the new year. We'll talk about how you can do that responsibly with a representative from Miller Coors right after this.